Hi, I'm Steve, and we're here with the latest news on our digital work for membership organisations.
And I'm Alex, and here's a taste of what's coming up.
So the day my new site goes live, what does actually happen?
Well, I've already spoken to you about setting yourselves up with our client portal, which is what we use to log support tickets. We're actually in the final stages of our plans to then implement a brand new customer success layer into Pixl8. This is the team that will be doing a lot more of the proactive communications with clients.
So what we've got is a single sign-on between both applications. So once you've logged into Ready Membership, it will single sign you into Brightspace. And then what you can also do through Ready Membership is you can see the status of all of the courses that you've got access to and your progress. All that and much, much more. So welcome to the Pixl8 update.
We kick off our headlines with news of an award win for one of our clients. Congratulations to the Federation of Master Builders, who won Best Use of Technology in the recent 2021 Memcom Awards. The project involved the replacement of 5 legacy systems, integration with Microsoft Dynamics from our partner Bluelight CRM and their popular Blue CRM product, a complete rebuild of their Find a Builder tool, plus a new member portal allowing tradespeople to manage their company profile on the F&B website.
Next up, we're going to talk about some of our recent launches, which include some additions that we've done to some existing client projects. First up is AGBIS, who are the Association of Governing Bodies of Independent Schools. So we've recently integrated them into their Xero accountancy package, and they're now using Xero to send out their invoices for their renewals. We've also got a number of clients who are starting to migrate their existing direct debits over to Go Cardless and using our integrated functionality for that. So we've got the Home Care Association. We've also got the Council of British Archaeology. And we've also doing a very, very similar thing with HCMM, moving across, again, the existing mandates over to them, and their renewals process will be starting to use Go Cardless as well very soon.
Additionally, we've done some work for the Royal Economic Society, specifically around a small project around income-based pricing. I'm sure that'll be relevant to our subscriptions chat later, Steve. As ever, Microsoft Dynamics remains a very popular platform that we see in use with our clients. So we put live a project for BMTE, which is for their January 22 conference, and that was integrated in with Microsoft Dynamics. We're also ready to launch a site for SBAI, which has also got deep Microsoft Dynamics integration. We still see a lot of clients coming to us with existing Dynamics platforms. Sometimes we re-platform them with our partners Bluelight, but it still remains a popular platform for us to integrate with.
Very soon, we're looking at launching a new site for ICPA, who are the International Corrections and Prisons Association. This is another one of the kind of non-UK Ready Membership sites that we've been launching fairly recently. A lot of it is kind of out-the-box Ready Membership functionality, but there is some customizations and some bespoke work for them. One of the things includes integrating into a payment system that they've been using for quite a while and integrates into the rest of their business. So it's quite important for them that we're able to integrate and use their same payment system.
Lastly, we can also talk about a very significant project that went live this month, which was for the long-standing client, the Global Certification Forum, and their DCC project. So this is the Device Certification Criteria project. It's a substantial bespoke platform that one of our service delivery teams has been working on for well over a year. I'm very, very pleased to get that live, and congratulations to the GCF and also to that team. So it's coming up also to award season. We have the Association of Association Excellence Awards on the 15th to the 17th of December. And we've entered a number of our clients for these. So Institutes of Materials, Minerals and Mining in the digital transformation category for best digital transformation. Also, we've entered the Federation of Master Builders. We're obviously very proud of the work that we've done there. We've entered the Association for Clinical Biochemistry and Laboratory Medicine, and the RMS for their Microscience Microscopy Congress, which was best online conference using our virtual events platform. So fingers crossed.
To start with our product roundup this month, we're going to talk a little bit about subscriptions. As regular watchers of this will know, over the past, I guess, year or so, we've been doing an awful lot of automating subscriptions in Ready Membership and really just kind of started to finesse the offerings that we've had for quite a while now. So now you can use the admin to start to build out your classes and grades and the length of your subscriptions and the pricing and what payment methods you take, and how those are presented in the front end as well, in terms of just trying to direct kind of members to a particular package and things like that. What we've been working on fairly recently is just taking a bit of a revisit really for our installments. So now through the UI you can create say kind of like an annual subscription which you pay by monthly, and that might be by direct debit or any other means. And what you can now do is that you can change the dates when those payments are set. So if the payments are typically, if they're taken at the end of the month, but that doesn't suit a particular member, then you can change that on an individual basis so it comes out after they've been paid, which is always important. What you can also do, you can pause these subscriptions, and also as you move them around to different grades, you can then decide how you want to change those prices. You can also configure what happens when those installments, if they fail for any reason. So rather than just as soon as a payment fails, that you don't necessarily expire the membership, but it allows you then to roll over into a next month. So you could have a couple of payments which don't work until you then decide that actually this member is no longer going to pay and I need to expire them. So there's a lot of flexibility that you can do there. And I guess one of the other things we've done as well is we've moved some of the features that you kind of used to set globally across all of your subscriptions to a more granular level. So things like grace periods and things like this, you can control those on an individual subscription rather than as a whole, and emails that get sent out as well. So you've got much more control over that.
So next we're going to learn a little bit more about our D2l integration and how that's progressing. Steve, can you tell us a little bit more about who D2l are and what our partnership there is?
D2l produce a learning management system called Brightspace. It's an incredibly comprehensive product, and it allows you to create any kind of courses, from kind of basic kind of education to ones which need maybe peer assessment or peer approval and things like that. We have a lot of our members who use Ready Membership. What you don't really want to do is, if they've got access to Brightspace, you don't want them to have to go through the kind of hassle of logging in totally separately. So what we've got is a single sign-on between both applications. So once you've logged into Ready Membership, we'll single sign you into Brightspace. And then what you can also do through Ready Membership is you can see your the status of all of the courses that you've got access to and your progress. And you can then seamlessly link between the two. So you can see your progress in Ready Membership, click on it to continue your course. You'll go straight into Brightspace, pick up where you left off, flip back into Ready Membership, see your status again, and just kind of do the same. And I guess one of the big positives about the integration into Ready Membership is then using the rules. So what you can then use is you can start to create rules to encourage people that have maybe haven't logged into Brightspace for a number of months, or maybe have completed a large percentage of a course but haven't yet completed it. So you can use rules to then alert people, whether it's through notifications or even just kind of part of their newsletter or any other means, just to encourage them to keep their interaction in with Brightspace and to kind of keep them using it. Now, the way it works as well is they may, part of your membership scheme, for example, may include access to certain materials in Brightspace. So what you can do, again, using rules, you can say if a person qualifies for this, then automatically give them grants to these. And you could also say if a membership maybe expires, if they're no longer a member, then you could revoke that membership in Brightspace. And this can all work in the background so that, you know, the kind of the maintenance of it from an admin perspective is pretty straightforward. You can also kind of individually grant people access to different courses and things like that. And I guess one of the exciting things as well is that we've now built this into our shop as well. So from a member's point of view, they can then navigate into the shop and they can buy instant access to courses in Brightspace. So when you then, and that might be a part of a basket with a number of different items, but when you then complete your purchase, behind the scenes, it will then talk directly to Brightspace, give you access to that course, and send you an email, and then you're immediately away and you can start that course. So there's some really nice things in just the first version of this. Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be lots more to come.
So also we've done a bit of work this month on the submissions manager. It sounds like that's getting more powerful. This is really exciting for me because obviously a lot of organisations will have volunteers or other stakeholders that they work with where they want that user contributed content. And so it's useful to find out how we're extending the functionality of the submission manager with custom submission types. So tell us more about that, Steve.
Yeah, initially we built submissions for handling kind of abstracts and grants. So now what we've done is starting to build that out further. So you can now create custom submission types. So one thing we're doing at the moment is for events. So this is part of a project for CBA, so Council of British Archaeology. So the idea being that you, without any kind of admin access, you can submit an event that you might be running, and that can go through the similar kind of approval before it goes live. So the reviewers can come in, you can review that, you can assign which reviewers can see which events. That goes through an approval stage, and then once it's finally been approved, that can then get published onto the site as a live event. There's lots of other things that we're working on as well. So we're looking at using submissions to allow kind of anyone to submit resources. So in Ready Membership World, kind of resources could be anything from a kind of a news story to something very, very bespoke. So the idea that we can open that up to allow third parties to be able to register this can save considerable amount of time for administrators than having to add that content themselves, but they still get that control over reviewing it before it goes live. And this is really just the start of some of the things that we're doing for submissions, which will then kind of can lead into the if you're applying for membership, maybe as a fellow and things like that, where you have to take references and various other things. So submissions is really starting to take shape now, and some of the functionality that we're adding into it, things like kind of auto saving and being able to edit them after you submitted them. Really kind of starts to make them super, super useful.
I mean, it sounds really useful. And I think there's so many instances, as we know, be that our awards platform or, as you say, grants and abstracts, where we have this notion of submitting information to the organisation and this kind of idea of peer review. Historically, when we've been working with organisational membership, especially with trade associations, we know that one of the member benefits quite often is the fact that members will be able to sort of submit their news, submit their case studies, submit information that for sort of publicity purposes, as well as the plethora of different sort of certification processes or fellowship upgrades and being all these other types of workflow processes which sort of follow a similar pattern, even though they have different content. So I think the exciting thing here is to perhaps replace what we would have traditionally done as custom development as part of a project, and get to a position where more of these edge case requirements can be dealt with out of box through the submissions manager as the platform. So yeah, exciting stuff.
So in these videos, we've talked an awful lot about site launches and what's been coming up and things like this. But what we've never really discussed is what actually happens when a site launches and what is the process after that. So we're joined today by John Small, who's the head of operations, and Oliver Evans, who's the client services and support manager.
Hi, Steve.
So my first question is what actually happens? So the day my new site goes live, what does actually happen?
When your site goes live, you'll have been working with a project manager up to that point, and they will go through what needs to happen on the day. They'll be working with our tech teams behind the scenes as well, talking you through the whole process of what happens there. At the point of go live, we'll have already spoken to you about setting yourselves up with our client portal, which is what we use to log support tickets, whether they be issues you need to raise or guidance you need, questions you have, requests for development going forwards. And that actually kicks in from the day of go live. At go live, you also have a 60-day warranty period, which is where we will look at those tickets that come in. If they're related to any sections of your initial build, your initial scope of the project, we'll take those into account and work on those out of the warranty period.
Let's take the scenario where my 60 days have passed my warranty and I've noticed there's maybe a bug on my site or something that doesn't seem to be working quite right. What's the process for that?
Well, Steve, I think the first thing is to make sure you do get into the habit of raising your issues through the portal, not via email. Do check obviously our email, but it's more important to make sure that the ticket is logged in a central place where there are more eyes on that individual ticket when it comes in. It's also important to ensure you put as much detail into your ticket from the get-go, in terms of how you got to the issue you faced, the user journey you went through, any screenshots that support or show the issue where possible, and any URLs to the location of the issue or how you got to that location. Ensure as well that your team is well trained to use Preside and other parts of the systems. A lot of the queries we do get are training questions and issues really about how to use the various functions within the system in general. So it's worth making sure that you are completely comfortable with the level of knowledge that your team has. Of course, if you do need any help or advice on additional training, please do get in touch as well. We'd be happy to help you with that and to ensure your team is fully equipped for your website.
Great. So we talked a lot about how clients can get in contact with us if they experience some issues or need training, but what do we do from Pixl8 side in order to be a bit more proactive on things?
We're actually in the final stages of our plans to then implement a brand new customer success layer into Pixl8. This will involve two main channels, one being the support help desk, which Ollie has already spoken about. But our new pillar to this layer is to have customer success managers. This is the team that will be doing a lot more of the proactive communications with clients and building a lot more engagement there as well.
Sounds good, John. So is there any snippets of further detail about how that would work that you can share?
So we want to be engaged with clients, especially when it comes to road mapping. That is on the plans on our client side, because we really want to get involved very early on to see how we can help gather requirements, offer recommendations, come up with solutions, not just from a technical perspective, but also from marketing strategy, from user experience and user journeys. So we'll run discovery workshops, we'll come up with specs and include third parties where need be as well. So everyone's on board with what the plans are.
If I do have, I need some additions made to my site, or there's a new phase that we've got potential budget to build on, kind of how does that go from, how do I request that?
Traditionally, those requests have more often than not been incoming via the client portal, because as well as a support ticket type, we have an enhancement ticket type. which is work that would be quoted for separately. We're still logging those requests, so we have that central record of them. But with the customer success managers and the more regular meetings that we're planning to have, we'll be working a lot more closely with our clients to get to know not only just what the general requests are that might be coming in, but talking about what are your goals and what you're actually trying to achieve, which will help prioritize what those pieces of work will be, and also group related work together, which is more efficient from a development point of view, but is likely to be a lot more cost effective as well.
Okay, so existing customers are going to get introduced to their customer success manager early next year. But what happens to new projects? Is it the same for new projects, or was it done in a slightly different way?
There will be a customer success manager introduced to you, and they'll be involved basically at every stage of a project. Even if they're not directly involved in the actual delivery, they will be there from a coordination and a communication perspective. So you will have someone who is always your go-to person in that case. Basically, we want to get to the point where we have everyone knowing exactly what each other's expectations are and the expectations of the project, basically leading to greater engagement, greater awareness, and greater product knowledge.
Well, look, thanks very much, John and Ollie, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing how this works in 2022.
Thanks, Steve.
So that's all for this month. We've got more tips and insights for you in our newsletter, The Forward. Sign up by going to the link on the screen now.
And if you like what you've seen, please do like this video. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified whenever there's a new video.
See you next time.
Bye.